Hello everybody, in today's video we're going to be going over the pattern which is going to be setting up over the next couple of weeks in the US and parts of southern Canada. We're going to have some warmer temperatures out west and also over parts of the northern states, and then we're going to have some chillier temperatures in the south and also along the east coast, with some rainier patterns setting up in and along parts of the east coast, as well as for parts of the southwest where we'll finally get some drought relief. Taking a look at the current National Weather Service page, you can see we have some red flag warnings in that pink color for parts of the northwest, as well as some excessive heat warnings in effect for eastern Montana. We have some air quality alerts in effect for parts of Minnesota, Colorado, Wyoming, Idaho, and Oregon as well. So just kind of scattered all over the place in the west. We have a few flood watches also scattered down through the southwest and the central plains in parts of Utah, Arizona, New Mexico, Kansas, and also into Missouri. And that's just kind of showing you where we're dealing with actually some of that drought relief. Yesterday, we had a high temperature of 120 degrees in Death Valley, California, with a low temperature 21 miles west-southwest of Big Piney, Wyoming, where they got down to 30 degrees Fahrenheit. The highest rainfall report, and this is a sign of that drought relief taking place, was actually in Arizona, in Coconino National Forest, where they got 3.71 inches of rainfall. That's just to the east of Flagstaff, Arizona. So finally, they are getting some big totals for rainfall. So hopefully that is helping with the drought down there. And there were no snowfall reports yesterday. Taking a look at the European Ensemble model for the temperature anomalies, the way to read this map would be that anywhere in the blues and the greens, which is in this shade right here, which an example of that would be in the central U.S. for this frame, that's it signifying some colder temperatures. In the oranges, the reds, and even those brown colors, that's where we're looking at warmer than normal temperatures. So taking a look at for tomorrow, you can see that we are expecting some of those colder temperatures to kind of overtake the central part of the country, with a bit of that warmer air in the northern plains. And also, if you live in southern or central Canada, we're also dealing with some of those warmer temperatures within that area. And then also along the northeast and mid-Atlantic area, we're also dealing with some of those warmer temperatures. Along the west coast, we have kind of a mixture of warmer and chillier weather. Nothing that's going to be too extreme on either side. Taking a look at Saturday, not a lot has changed so far. Still dealing with colder temperatures in through the central part of the country, with in the northern part and the northern part of the U.S. and southern Canada, we're still dealing with those rather warm temperatures. We're also dealing with warmer temperatures in through the mid-Atlantic and even moving down through parts of the southwest. Taking a look at Sunday, you can see that now we're starting to see everything kind of shifting a little bit further to the southeast. So we're dealing with these warmer temperatures starting to get suppressed down into the United States. So we're, instead of dealing with these warmer temperatures going all the way up to near James Bay in Canada, now they're barely making it to the north of the U.S. border. So we're about to see all these warmer temperatures kind of just leave Canada, move down into the U.S. with those above normal temperatures. So everything is kind of shifting a little bit further to the south. We have those chillier temperatures now moving closer to the east coast. So even parts of New England by this point are now getting in on some of the cooler temperatures by this point. Taking a look at Monday, and you can see how everything has just shifted further to the south. So now if you live, I would say, in this kind of central belt of Canada, now you're dealing with actually cooler than normal temperatures down through the immediate southern part of Canada, still dealing with warmer temperatures, as well as in the northern half of the United States. And then if you live in the central or eastern two-thirds of the country, you're also dealing with a colder than normal temperatures by this point. Here's a look at Tuesday. You can still see everything is continuing to shift further and further to the south. So now we have a rather robust area of colder temperatures just kind of sitting through the southeast and the southern plains. We're dealing with those warmer temperatures generally in the northern part of the country, as well as into western Canada by this point. So everything is kind of just scattered around. Mainly the warmer temperatures are further north and the cooler temperatures are further to the south. This is also helping to kind of halt any severe weather that would be taking place. Normally, with severe weather, you want to have a temperature differential. So what you would want to see is for this pattern to kind of be flipped, where we have the colder temperatures to the north and the warmer temperatures to the south. And we actually have the exact opposite. And that means that across the board, you're dealing with temperatures that are fairly similar to each other. So that's going to help halt any severe weather that might develop. That's one of the reasons that if you live in the southeast, the southern plains, you guys really haven't seen too much severe weather. You've seen a few outbreaks back in March or April, but besides that, really in May, June, and now we've been going through the at least the first half of July, we really have not seen a lot of rainfall or any real amount of severe thunderstorms within these areas. So just been a kind of a quiet pattern because of how the temperature patterns have been setting up over this summer period. Taking a look at Wednesday of next week, you can see still colder in the eastern and southern part of the country, and it's warmer down through the northern Rockies, the northern plains, and then also up into western and central Canada. If we look at the upper air maps to kind of give us a better idea of what's happening, here would be for Friday, and you can see that we're dealing with a bit of a trough in through the central United States as well as along the west coast. So it's going to be chillier in these areas, and then you can see that we have a ridge which is just building off the east coast as well as another area of high pressure which is up into central Canada. So that's why we're dealing with all those warmer temperatures within those two areas, with the kind of colder temperatures along the areas of troughing within the central and western part of the U.S. Taking a look at Monday, to kind of fast forward this, you can see how it kind of flips all over the place. So before we were dealing with colder temperatures out west, now we're dealing with the warmer temperatures out west, and we're dealing with the colder temperatures into the eastern part of the country. The reason that's happening is because we have a trough setting up along the eastern United States. We have a big ridge, which is just setting up over the Rockies, and that's helping to bring in some of those really, really warm temperatures for parts of the west, and then of course in the east, that's where we're dealing with those colder temperatures by Monday of next week. And then if we look at for 7 days from now, so this would be next Thursday, you can see how we have this big area of low pressure over the northeast. That's bringing in colder temperatures. We have a high pressure, which is still sitting out over the western United States, the western United States. So still very warm within that area. Most of the warmer temperatures, however, are going to be up in the north and also into southern Canada. So that's generally how the upper air pattern is playing out. That's why we're dealing with the colder air in the places where we're seeing it, and that's why we're seeing the warmer temperatures where they are setting up. So that's kind of just a little bit of a breakdown of why and where that is happening. Taking a look at the Climate Prediction Center's forecast, here's the 6 to 10 day outlook, and you can see that we're expecting from the 20th through the 24th to have some below normal temperatures in the southern and eastern part of the country. So still very, very cold. Not very cold, I would say fairly chilly in these areas. It's not going to really be too bad considering that we are still in summer. So being below normal now compared to, let's say, in January is definitely two different things. Being colder now is mainly talking about temperatures in the 70s or 80s. Being cold in, let's say, January would be temperatures down in the teens, the 20s, or even the 30s, depending on what part of the country you're in. So definitely two different things, and we're dealing with mostly kind of that summer chill, very, very nice, and I would say fairly reasonable temperatures. We're not dealing with anything that's too warm, and it's just going to be fairly comfortable in these areas. Temperatures in the mid and low 80s over many of these spots, so definitely a fairly nice pattern all around for the southern and eastern United States. And then for the north and the west, we're dealing with those warmer temperatures over the next 6 to 10 days. You can see that how we have above normal temperatures expected within that entire area. So that's the area where we're expecting those warmer temperatures. If we look at the 8 to 14 day outlook, which goes from the 22nd through the 28th, you can see that we have those warmer than normal temperatures in the north, and then across the south, that's where we're dealing with colder or cooler than normal temperatures within that area. Here's the 3 to 4 week outlook, which goes from the 24th through August 6th, and you can see how we have some below normal temperatures in the southeast and the southern plains, with some above normal temperatures still out through the west and also into the northern tier of the country. So over even the next 3 to 4 weeks, we're still dealing with a fairly similar pattern. It looks like not a lot will be changing over the next couple of weeks, so expect this pattern to kind of stay in place. Nothing too big should be changing over the next month or so. Taking a look at the precipitation outlook, which is talking about the rainfall that could or should be falling within these areas. Here would be the 6 to 10 day outlook. So again, from the 20th through the 24th, the north is staying fairly dry over this time period, with the south and the southwest mainly being the two areas where you're dealing with above normal amounts of rainfall. So definitely good, because these areas, especially in the southwest, have been dealing with a lot of drought issues. So definitely helping the farmers out west. I know there have been a lot of issues, especially in areas like California and Arizona, with actually growing plants and crops. So that's definitely helping because of the water shortages that they've been having in that area. So hopefully it's not coming down all at once. Hopefully it's kind of coming down a little bit more in a gradual fashion, because that's the main way that you're going to be able to help with this drought. If we get all the rain all at once, it mainly just causes flooding issues and actually adds kind of more concerns to the issue. But hopefully we're getting it more at a steady clip, maybe 1 or 2 inches per week, and that'll really be a good way of kind of helping with the drought issue. And then if we look at even the 8 to 14 day outlook, good news for those of you in the southwest and the southern plains, still dealing with an above normal amount of precipitation, so that should help out with the drought. I know I have a few viewers from the southwest, and yesterday you guys were talking in the comments just about how much you guys needed rainfall, since you guys really haven't seen any within the past couple of months. So again, hopefully you guys are getting your fair share of rainfall over the next couple of weeks and months. So this looks like the best time over the past year or so, I would say, for getting some good rainfall within that area. And even if you look at the 3 to 4 week outlook, good news, we're still under some above average precipitation within these areas. So still expecting those higher amounts of rainfall compared to normal in parts of the southwest. Maybe won't erase the entirety of the drought, but definitely should be a good sign for those of you in the southwest that we're at least getting some of that drought erased over that area. And looking at the drought monitor, this has been updated, and from last week they definitely did improve it. It doesn't look like it, because still much of the southwest is under that exceptional drought, but now new parts of Arizona are only under the third tier of drought. Also, much of New Mexico has been kind of lowered by 1 tier, and there has been generally a lot of areas that have been moved down from exceptional drought down to extreme drought, or even from extreme drought down to severe drought, especially in areas of the Inner Mountain West. So that's definitely good news in those areas. We're definitely seeing some improvement among the drought issues. So that is going to wrap it up for today's video. Please consider liking the video, subscribing, and turning on notifications, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Goodbye.